Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another lovely Wednesday and another episode of the Unfiltered Podcast. We are your host, Marco Barella.
What's up, party people? Troy Scherzer here. How you guys doing tonight? What a fabulous day it is. We're
Indeed,
finally
indeed.
out of the rough, guys. Finally
It's
out of the
true.
fucking rough. It's
Troy's
no longer
favorite time
winter.
of the year. It is
Finally fucking
springtime.
spring. Get that
Thank-
shitty ass cold out of here.
Thank fuck.
Anyway, so a little bit different today. I know we were talking about earlier in the year about getting, more guests on, more people on, whatnot. But we got a fucking special guest for you guys today. Listen here,
Very
boys.
special.
Hey, we got a motherfucker that's been in the army. Motherfucker serving our goddamn country. 23-year-old, 6 years military.
Christ.
Fucking Clayton. How we doing, Clayton?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh,
Good.
just dandy.
Peachy. Troy is super fascinated with the fact that you've been serving us for a long time.
Yeah,
don't know
so
why.
you've been, if I'm not mistaken, 6 years, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. My math is correct, which usually it's not. But you're 23, 6 years. That means you signed at 17.
Mhm.
Don't you have to be 18 to sign?
Yeah. No. I mean, not necessarily.
Okay.
You
What's
can,
the
you can
story
join,
behind
you
this?
You can join at 17. Well, fucking. When I was in high school, I wasn't the best student at all,
Mhm.
Okay.
right? And
Perfectly
I
here.
was low key. Not even low key. I was smoking a lot of weed, not paying attention in school, hanging out with my friends, going to parties, and doing what I thought was just good for me at the time.
Mhm.
As soon as I became a senior, or after I graduated, I should say, I was working at an attorney's office as a file clerk,
Oh, damn. Okay.
and I'm an only child. My two stepbrothers on my dad's side, they were both in the army as well, and my stepbrother on my mom's side was in the Marines. So I was like, I sat myself down. And I was like, dude, I'm really not doing anything in life right now. I need to get my shit together. Um, I always was fascinated in the military as well. So I said, you know what? Let's go down to the recruiter's office. Let's talk to them. Come to find out, a couple years later, I'm now over here in Arizona, uh, on the enlisted side of the army.
Shit, so you live in Arizona? Or are you
Yeah,
stationed out there?
I'm stationed. I mean, both. I'm stationed out here.
Okay, you live in stationed. Okay. Now, what branch and what do you do?
So I'm in the army, and I'm a 92 Yankee for all my military nerds out there, or for my army nerds. But for the civilian guys, it's basically just supply specialist. Also, and then you can classify it as logistics.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Now, what's your like day to day? You know what I mean?
So I'm on my second. This is my second unit right now, and my day to day is basically. It kind of depends. Each day is different. So one day you can be taking inventory of stuff, ordering supplies for your unit. Um, it's basically managing army property. Um, and I don't know. I really don't know how else to break it down besides saying that I just manage a bunch of government property essentially.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. So all right. So you're basically the warehouse guy that manages all the inventory and shit like that, basically. For
Yeah,
those of
pretty
us that
much.
are stupid. Okay.
Well, you
Well,
guys
that's
aren't
pretty
stupid,
cool.
but yeah.
So, is this the position like you wanted to be in, or is it kind of just something that fell into your hands and you're like, you know what, this is what I like, this is what I want to do?
Exactly.
Okay. All
I
right.
like
Fair
that.
enough. Now, I'm a little bit familiar because one of my best friends is in the Navy. What's your term length? Like, do you have another year? Because usually it's in sevens, or did you resign?
So, if we're speaking the truth here, whatever. I did my first contract in Italy in the 173rd, and
Damn, you went to
then
Italy?
yeah, I got
What?
blessed to go
All right,
overseas.
we're gonna talk about that, but keep going. Sorry.
Um, but when a year a couple months ago during Halloween night, I was out in Phoenix and in Old Town Scottsdale, fucking going crazy at the clubs with my friends and shit. And I thought a vape was a regular vape come to find out, it had some kush in it, had some weed.
Ooh.
So as of right now, I'm out of here within a year is what my leadership is telling me, but we'll see what happens.
So you kind of got reprimanded for that.
A little bit, yeah, but
Damn, that fucking blows.
it's okay. I actually self-reported.
Oh, okay, so that's probably a little bit better. They're like, okay, you know
Yeah.
what? You
So
came in and
I'm
you
able
told us what
to.
happened.
They made a deal with legal, and I got to be able to keep all my benefits. So my
Awesome.
VA,
Okay.
my post 9/11, and then whatever disability I get.
That's
Oh,
good.
neat. Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So since that's happening, I guess I don't want to talk about too much, but like, has your life changed in the military now that happened, or is it still pretty much day to day doing the basics, doing your normal job, just kind of
It's
that it's in that
definitely
background?
it's definitely opened my eyes to. Sorry, I'm actually hitting my vape right now. Um,
Oh God, hopefully it's not laced.
no,
Oh God.
it's opened my eyes to what the world is really like. But on the other
Mhm.
hand, I never really I've never really been independent. I've always had something to fall back on because, in the armies as a single soldier, right?
Hmm.
You don't really have any bills. It's your internet, your phone bill, your car insurance, and
Mhm.
a car title if it's not paid off. And then,
Hmm.
if you got credit cards and, there's some exceptions out there for people who have more bills. But as for my situation, I got a place to live. I get 3 hot meals a day, and it's not that it's not really independent living per se,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
So for example, would you, if you have someone like a younger friend or someone who was in that same spot where you were, like in the middle of high school, and you figured out that like, hey, this school stuff may not be for you, would you recommend doing the same exact path you went?
I would, honestly, I would tell them to, if they did want to join the military, I'd set them straight. I'm not a recruiter, so I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of recruiters try and pull sheets over your eyes.
I knew it.
But I
I
would
always
tell
knew it.
them to join the Air Force over any other branch because
Really?
in my opinion, that is the best branch. They know how to treat their guys. Not saying the Army or any other branch doesn't, but I just think
Hmm.
the standard of living is higher in the Air Force. Um, you know,
Interesting.
there's a lot more. What I think, there's a lot more opportunity in the Air Force as
Ooh,
well.
Really?
And all in all, all it comes down to is that I think it's just better living.
interesting.
Oh wow.
I
Because
want.
all right, is this true or not that the Air Force are kind of the AKA pussies of the military? Is
That's
that true or
insane.
no?
Eh,
I gotta
I'm
ask.
not
I feel
gonna.
like it's such a
So
normal thing to like be like, oh,
the nickname everyone's got for them is the Chair Force,
okay,
but
yeah,
for every branch, there's one or two, special operations, I guess task forces. I'm
mhm,
really not saying that correctly, but for the Marines, it's MARSOC, Raiders, Recon. For the Air Force, it's PJs, and I think TACPs might be considered a higher echelon. Um, for the Army, it's Special Forces, it's the Rangers, it's um 160th SOAR, Operations Aviation Regiment, and for the Navy, it's like DevGru and the SEALs and EOD and those cool everything that you see on the TV is what those cool guys are doing.
Oh.
But I wouldn't say the Air Force are pussies. Obviously, there's some onesies and twosies in every branch, but
mhm.
in my opinion, no knock to your friend, I think the Navy has the most
Ha, ha.
quote unquote pussies.
You hear
Oh,
that, Troy? Your friend's a
no, all right.
pussy.
To set the record straight, number one, he's a nuclear sub. He's on a nuclear sub. He's a nuke guy.
Uh huh.
Damn, what
So
the fuck?
he's he's dumb smart is the way I put it. His common sense and like in person, he's the dumbest person. He's one of the dumbest people I know. But on books, and he actually like when he applies himself, he's one of the smartest people I know.
You know
Mm.
what though? Props to him because being on a sub for however long you're on a sub
I
for,
know.
I
that shit's
see it.
mind breaking.
It's
I
It's
know. That's
mind
what I always
claustrophobic.
said.
breaking.
I've seen shit online where like they like the sleeping the living standards on a nuclear like a submarine like that or like it just
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. No, that's what I thought. Apparently, a lot of his subs, since they're nuclear subs, are a little bit bigger. Like he can actually stand. He doesn't have to bend down the entire time or anything like that. He's also I don't want to say on the he's gosh he's gonna rip me for this. He's on the shorter side.
I am too. It's
He's
okay.
not that short, but he's like I'm gonna guess like 5'7" to 5'9".
That's still
He's not
taller
like
than me.
6 foot. He's not
it's
6 foot or
fine.
taller, but for him, he's not banging his head on every pipe he goes by. But honestly, props to you for going in the military. Number one, I thank you for your service. I like
course.
no matter
Of
what you
course, thank you for
do,
your support.
it's like God, you're putting your life out there no matter what you do. Because at the end of the day, if duty calls for you guys.
Especially
But,
it's gotta be especially around nowadays where like I feel like there's just a new conflict you don't hear about like oh did you hear what's happening here like oh shit now that's happening. It's especially like nowadays. My thought process is that like I feel like as like decade like per decade I guess like I feel like there's probably a stat for it where like the recruitment is probably like gone way low because people are either like afraid or the morale between America like American and their citizens are like distant. It's
yeah.
very interesting because like I don't hear it as much nowadays. Like, oh, what are you doing after school? Like, oh, I'm going to the military. I don't hear that as much as often, especially with like the people who are in high school now. Like, obviously, I'm
Hmm.
not that old, but like, I still like, I have a couple of people that I know personally that do the military, but it is interesting to see, and I obviously I am very, grateful about your service, and it's just a scary part of the world right now where we're in with, especially with all the conflicts going on, but it's amazing that you found something that keeps you busy, and I'm sure you have lots of stories and the bonds that you have with people you meet there. That's always one thing I've always seen, like even if it's like dramatic on TV and movies, but like it because I know people that do the military, is that they always talk about the friend, like, brothers and sisters that they meet. Like that's something that
Yeah,
I always commend. How many like do you have like a close tight knit group that you've met while doing your job?
yeah, definitely. So, like I said, my first unit was in Italy, and being a brand new private, fresh out of basic training in AIT, you don't know anything, right?
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
you know is what they teach you. So, um, when I first got there, like I said, I was a brand new private, didn't know anything, didn't know anyone. Luckily, I was in the military intelligence company within my battalion, and everyone in there, right,
Mm-hmm.
welcomed me with open arms.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
And
awesome.
till this day, and I'll stand by this, for any military unit that you go to, there's always going to be at least 3 or 4 people that are going to welcome you in. But I've heard stories many, many times, and luckily I've never experienced this, that there is some real toxic leadership within the
Really?
army.
Oh wow.
Damn.
And I don't know if that's for every branch, but I can only speak from what I've been told.
Mhm. I feel like a lot of those though. It's always. I feel like you do hear that every once in a while. It's like the military isn't all that. You got to deal with your a holes. You got to deal with the I shouldn't say captains, but the sergeants that think their shit don't stink, but they're doing they're shady stuff on the side and stuff like that. But that's I'm just
Yeah.
glad you like it. That's the whole thing. Now, if you're presented the opportunity, are you going to continue, or what's your? I don't want to say what's your plan afterwards because I don't want to say there's an afterwards. But what if there is? What's your plan?
So I got lucky enough to meet someone that works as a contractor, and he lives in Chandler, Arizona, right, which is just
Okay.
outside of Phoenix.
Hmm.
And him and I got really close, and he said, "Hey, listen, we're always looking for our company is just coming off the ground, and we're looking
Awesome.
for military background personnel, and he's also in the reserves right now. He's also a military intelligence guy,
Oh, awesome.
and he said, "Hey, listen, send me your resume, send me headshots, send me whatever. Tell me when your exit terminal service date is, your ETS date, and we'll get the ball rolling for you as soon as as soon as you get that paper in your hand saying that you're out." So I'm very, very blessed for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
Now,
great.
do you feel as though since you have military background, it's easier to find? Gosh, this sounds terrible. Do you think it's easier to find a job with military background compared to if you didn't?
Um, in some sectors, most definitely, but there's a lot of companies out there, and there's a lot of people who love that piece of paper from a college, and just to have those
That's
credentials
fair.
means the world to them.
That's
But
fair.
I would say in the blue collar workforce, so people like linemen, electricians, and
Mhm.
things of that nature, that the military background kind of puts you ahead of that person that you thought that was in front of you,
Definitely.
because they know that you're hardworking, they know you're
Mhm.
dedicated, they know blase 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 everything in that realm, that you're going to be a hard worker no matter what you do.
Mhm. Oh, neat. That's awesome. Well, that's super cool. I mean, in your how do I put this? Gosh.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm like blasting his ear off with questions, man.
No,
No,
But
I
anyway,
mean
I
that's
want
what I'm here for. Ask them all.
to all right, I want to take a step back. You served in Italy. What is that like?
mm,
Like, are you near one of the nice places? Are you in one of the shitty places? What is your experience and like what was that like?
So I was in Vincenza, Italy. The unit is 173rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team 50 and 54th Brigade Engineer Battalion. They actually shut down the battalion I was in, and they moved
Wow.
people down to a brigade support battalion. But I'm not gonna get into that. That's fucking. I don't even know where to start from that, or why they did it. Anyway, it was awesome. It was great. I grew up traveling with my mom. My mom's originally from Costa Rica, so we would her, me, and my dad would always go down there when when I was still a youngin growing up
Mhm.
to see family and whatnot. So I grew up traveling a lot, and it was kind of a culture shock. I didn't know what the European lifestyle was like, let alone the Italian lifestyle.
Mhm.
So when I got there, it's in the city of Vicenza. It's literally right in the middle of the city, actually. Well, not in the middle, but it's it's um it's on the outskirts of what the city is in, right?
mm-hmm,
Okay.
And there's actually like three different bases, but there's main post, which was called Ederly, and then there's um the little other post called Del Din, which I was on. And
Neat.
they're like 15 minutes away from each other. And then I was also an airborne slotted guy, so I would be jumping out of planes in Italy,
Holy
in
shit.
Germany, and all that too. So that was an experience and a half. That was so fucking
You
cool
were
to do.
jumping out of planes?
Yeah, I was
Damn.
indeed.
for what? Where was like
We got
was
a
it like for
modern James
training
Bond out
or?
here. Damn.
Yeah, it's all for training purposes, but so when I first joined the military, you go to basic training, right? You in process, you do all that, you learn the basics of the military and the army.
Mm-hmm,
After that, you go to your AIT, which stands for Advanced Individual Training, and that's where you learn your job that you're signed up for,
Okay.
right?
Yep. All right, I'm following.
And then so I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then I went to Fort Lee, Virginia. And they changed the name to Fort Eustis for some reason. I don't know why. And then I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. That's where airborne school was, right?
Mhm.
mm-hmm,
So I spend like I think the school itself is like 2.5, 3 weeks, but I spent a month there because it was during COVID times, and they were
Ooh.
trying to find me a flight to Italy, and it took almost 2 months to get me out of the country from the U.S.
oh
to
no.
Italy because of COVID. But to really answer your question, Italy was it was amazing. I wish a lot of me wishes I was still there because of the people, because of the camaraderie, because of the experiences, and definitely the traveling and the food and the people. It was
Oh
just
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
glad my people have pleased you. My Italian
That
and
sounds terrible. My
no,
people
I get
please
it
do.
though. I mean, like I'm surprised that like I know that there's like certain like embassies across like Europe for America, like and that is very cool to think about, because obviously like I'm sure like I've been to like all of like because I have family towards the south of Italy. Like I went to see Rome, Venice, not Sicily. I think we don't talk about Sicily, but that's a whole different fucking place. But Italy, and man, I respect it honestly. It's not. Did you pick up on any Italian per se?
Che cazzo, che cazzo.
Hey,
That's
I
like the
like.
only thing I knew. And then, but I lucked out too because my mom, like I said a little bit ago, she's from Costa Rica, so her first
Yeah.
language was Spanish.
Yeah, they're very
Um,
similar for
very,
some.
very similar. So when she came out
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
to
that. Wait.
when she yeah, when she came out to Italy to do some traveling with her sister and my stepdad and whoever else came at during that time, she was staying in Milan, so I took the train up there, right? It's like an
Hmm.
hour and a half away. And
Oh, wow.
it was kind of crazy to me because she was speaking Spanish to Italians and they were having full on conversations. I was like,
What?
what the hell? Yeah.
So
That's
Spanish
hilarious.
is very close to Italian.
Yeah, not
It's
like every
yeah,
like every word, but like most
Yeah.
dialect, it is very similar. Because I
Really?
have
I didn't
like
know that.
there
exactly.
be cases with my grandparents who are born in Italy, and
Yeah.
they don't understand some conversations as well. That's very cool
Oh,
though, because like
wow.
I went when I was super young, and I obviously had my mom translate everything. But it is very cool because like especially like I'm assuming it's way more useful in the military, but like picking up on it's very true because my mom was born in Philadelphia, so she wasn't she was born with Italian parents, but per se, but like she kind of picked up on Italian throughout her her young age and as she grew up. That I kind of see myself learning it along the way. Well, like if they would point something in there, I can I can by like context clues, I can kind of understand what they're saying. I can't pronounce it to
Interesting.
save my life, but I
Mhm.
can understand some words, especially curse words, because again, my that's my dad. But I love it. It's very cool that, especially in how I just fucking had a brain fart. Jesus Christ! But no, that's really
Gosh,
cool
Marty.
though. Italy is a fantastic place. I definitely do understand the praise that you give it.
And
Non-biased,
then
of course.
also it was kind of unfortunate too because, with the base being there, obviously there's a lot of Americans that are around as well.
Mm.
But the Italian people and the kids who go to high school there, they speak a lot of they practice English. They I don't know if I don't know if it's for every state, but for the state of California, when I was in high school, you had to take a language, right? And a lot of
Mhm.
people would take
Wait,
Spanish or
you grew up in
French.
Did you California? You grew up in California?
Yeah, I grew up in LA.
Oh, damn. All right.
Mm.
Um, and it's going back to what I was saying. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, no. That's sorry. I was thrown off by that. That was my bad.
No, you're good. Um, the Italian high schoolers would take English as their secondary language. So whenever I would interact with any Italian or,
Mhm.
not saying I would interact with high schoolers, right? But just the people in that city, they they would want to practice English on the Americans. So I would never really speak Italian to them because I would always try and talk to them in English.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, neat. So, what I guess what number one, what part of Italy were you in? Were you in the north, south, middle? Because I know
I
I
think
realize Italy's a lot bigger than I realized.
the boot.
You were in the boot, so you were in the bottom part then.
No, 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 no.
Or
I think I was more central. So I was
okay.
an hour train ride north of Venice,
Oh,
an
okay.
hour and a
All right,
half,
I'm following.
an hour and a half train ride south from, I think south from knowing my never eat soggy waffles, right? Uh, south of Milan. So I was kind of like in the middle.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's cool. And then two. So I know Marco brought up about the embassy. What is like? So you weren't stationed on an embassy. You were stationed on a base. I guess. What is the difference? Like, is there a big difference between the embassy and your base station, or is
Uh,
like? I guess my this is my other question. You might understand this better than I will. Um, like when I think of a European country, I'm like, oh, they have their own country. But then, we're just like, oh, I was stationed in Italy. Is there just a random American base for the military in the middle of Italy, or how does that work? Like, how do they? This might be a little too far, but like, how do they plan of like, oh, we're gonna put a base, American military base in the middle of our country? Like, is that a thing, or is it more of a like, how does that work? If that does that make
so I
sense?
think it's more. That's a great question because I really don't even know if this is the correct answer. But I think a lot of NATO countries have American base. Well, I'm not going to
Okay.
say American bases because we actually rent the base that I was on from the Italian government, believe it or not.
Okay. Oh, all right, all right.
So we get a lot of there's Italians on the base, Italian military personnel. There's Americans, of course. Sometimes you might see some Germans, Croatians, and I think it's more of a strategic thing for the United States to have um,
Base over there already.
these bases within Europe
Oh,
and
neat. Okay.
maybe even Africa
Especially
for all I
closer to
know,
like
or
NATO
Korea.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating, because I know
Oh,
we
that's so
saw
cool.
what Iran striked. I think where's because I remember reading about that, like how they
Oh my gosh. You just
the
brought this a good topic now. Sorry. Sorry,
no, so
sorry.
yeah, they I forgot where their embassy was, but like they started attacking American places that were in Europe, that were stationed in Europe. But
Yeah, so embassies are as an attitude Yankee supply guy, I can get stationed everywhere, right?
Okay.
And not a lot of jobs can do that. So like infantry guys can
Mhm.
only go to infantry based units, right?
Okay.
Actually, that's not true. There's a couple infantry guys here at this base that I'm at, but very, very rare.
Okay.
Um, but so the difference between, to answer your question, an embassy and a military base, I think that was your question if I'm
Yeah.
remembering right.
Like, is it the same thing? Is it a little bit different?
No, it's different. Military base is more for, I guess, personnel, and the embassy is more administrative things like
Okay. All right. That
citizenship,
makes
and
sense. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what it would be.
More embassy is more for helping civilians, where the military base is a military base for the army
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever branch. Okay. All right. I'm following. I'm following. Okay. Now, this is going to be a little controversial.
oh
This
Jesus.
is, of course, we call this the Unfiltered Podcast because obviously this is supposed to be unfiltered. This question you do not have to answer. You can deny to answer this question because obviously it's probably a little close to home.
Jesus.
What is your opinion on the whole Iran recent attack and everything like that? What's your viewpoint? What's your opinion if you can give that?
I'll be honest. I I don't know. I really don't know because it's so. And I hate saying this. I don't get into politics because I hate the way that it divides people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you know, I'm under scrutiny here because I have to trust our government. I don't have a choice. I really don't.
Mhm.
I can have my
Okay. All
opinion,
right.
but at the end of the day, it's whatever the president tells us to do. Hey, we're going over there. We're going over there. Whatever it is. But I, I fuck, man, I don't
I feel like I
know.
asked a
I
really good question, and he's like, "Has it? You if you don't want to share, you don't have to." But I feel
no,
like
no, no, no. It's not that
there's an
I. It's not that
answer
I.
that I'm like
Oh wait.
question. I'm wondering if it's like you're. It's gonna be. How do I put it? Controversial compared to what everybody else thinks.
Mhm.
No, it's not controversial. It's just I don't really have enough information about it to
Okay.
make a solid opinion.
Yeah. It's very complex. I think because it's such a delicate topic and it's the fact that it's still ongoing nobody knows where it's going. Like you could say something now that can change over time. I get
And,
it. I
and I'll
definitely
say
do.
this, I don't think anybody ever wants people to die, but
Exactly. Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that, and this is going to sound horrible, I think that people need to
I
keep the
agree.
world at peace.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. But
No.
I didn't
Yeah.
say it.
That's the reality that most people don't understand, especially now. Especially like I think now that because you see it online now that like most young Gen Zers are starting to get into the politics scene. They're starting to get older and they have access to the news just like adults do. And you see all the shit you see online with the protest, and you see all the stuff with online, and like people, like you said, people are too scared to talk about stuff. But like that's why like people have their own opinions on certain things, and that's why I feel like with some serious topics like this, like you need time to articulate your thoughts and opinions. People don't think about it and they just say what they want to say without any repercussions. Like no, if you say something stupid or you say something that you don't understand what you're talking about, then you're gonna get shit for it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I
I
definitely
agree.
understand that.
That
But
totally makes sense.
yeah. I don't know, cause I did thought about like obviously like the one time I did get something in the mail for me when I was I think around probably like you said I was around 17 or 18 years old, and I never get mailed like directly towards me because I didn't pay taxes yet, or I don't pay bills or whatnot, and it was
What?
directed towards me,
Wait a minute.
and it was my name, and it was kind of like a military like thing, like if you're interested, here's this, and I thought about it, and like obviously like I'm not there's certain reasons why I don't think I could be in the military, but like I don't think I have it. I probably do still have it, but I said to myself, if I don't find something that I want to do when I grow up, I'll have this as a backup option, have this as like a plan B. But who knows? I
I
don't
think it's
think
a great plan B,
yeah.
because at the end of the day, I can talk all the shit about the army I want, but it's
Mhm.
given me the opportunity to explore the world.
Oh
It
yeah,
really
yeah.
has.
That definitely sounds like something that, especially for my personal problems, like I feel like I don't go out more. I don't feel like there's so much to like, and I think that you kind of shed on it perfectly. You shed a light on it where like it's like people don't understand that there's definitely other ways to explore the world without just going on a vacation. Your job can take you there. You're like you said, you're with your experience going to different places. That's what my mom, because I was talking about it, where like for the longest time I thought I wanted to be a culinary chef. I wanted to be a chef, and then she brought the idea you can cook for the military. You can cook for certain bases, and like you said, obviously like some areas and all that. Like I thought it was a good idea, honestly. You know, I feel like with my love for cooking and helping out, it wouldn't be like saying like, "Oh, I'm risking my life for the cut." Like, no, I'm a fucking chef for the military. I'm not on the front lines like you or anybody else. But it is an idea that I had for a good while. But who knows? Scary, It is definitely, like I
Interesting.
said, a plan B. The fact that like it's not everyone's plan B though. But I feel like after a while, like you see, I don't know. It's a tough topic, but I like talking about it. And I think that for
Yeah.
most people are at home right now who are maybe on at that age, like 17, 18, and like obviously once you graduate high school, like no one's pressuring you or forcing you to go right to college. Like take a gap year to figure out what you want to do. That's what I always try to praise to like younger people who are about to graduate high school. Like you don't have to figure out what you want to do at age 18. It's a stigma, and I feel like it's a very dangerous stigma for young people because the pressure will eat at them, and it fucks up with your mental, like. But that's just my opinion on it. I think,
Interesting.
yeah.
Did
But
I Marco, did I ever mention to you about me going into the SEALs?
no,
Yes,
actually.
crazy enough. I went through the process almost. I took the test. I talked to the Navy, whatnot. I'm not sorry. I'm not trying to downplay you, Clayton, at all.
No, no,
So I don't
don't
want.
take it
I
like
just want
that.
to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm not like, oh, by the way, I was. No, I was just saying. I don't think I ever mentioned you. I went to the Navy office, and was talking to the guys because obviously, as I said, one of my best friends is in the Navy. Talking to him, I said, look, if I'm gonna do this, I want to go into your best branch. I'm the type of person where I'm like, I'm either doing it all or not doing it at all. I'm doing everything or nothing at all. I said, "Look, what are the requirements? What do I have to do? What do what kind of things do I have to pass? What are the physical requirements? Whatnot." I went through the process. We figured out if I would, number one, pass intelligently or doing the test and doing all that. I passed that with flying colors. He said I could have went into something more technical if I wanted to. I said, "Fuck no. I'd rather. I want to go over there and
You want to fuck shit up?
exactly. Thank you. That's the word. Yeah. Thank you." And I said, screw it, we'll do that. I was figuring out the physical part of it. They said, as of right now, if you keep your current physical ability, you will be just fine. You won't have problems. Obviously, when you go in, get into boot camp, it's going to be a little bit different because obviously, with these specialized divisions, you wake up a little bit earlier. There's a little bit different of a regimen. It's shouldn't say a little bit harder. It's a lot harder. It's weed out the weenies and the people that think they can do it they can't, compared to the people that actually can and want to do it. I was going through it, just figuring out what I could and couldn't do. For the most part, I was 100% clear. And he's like, "Look, my one thing that drew me off a little bit was, look, if you want to join the SEALs or like a special group, I figured out is that you have to declare for a different job first, but then you're in the specialized group, I guess. How do I put it? Training. And as long as you pass that and they want you in, you continue through there. But if you fall out, you don't just go home. You now you kind of get passed down to the other job that you signed up for, and you don't have a chance to go into the specialized group. There's no going home if you decide the SEALs doesn't work out. You know what I mean? At least in my case, I was a little off on that. I was like, you know what? God forbid something happens to me and my physical ability isn't fully there, or I hurt myself or whatever. I don't just go home. It's now I'm a Navy officer on some battleship doing whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I'm not. I don't want to get stuck. And then, now I'm serving 5 or 7 years at a spot I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, it doesn't seem like you really ran into that. My friend actually ran into that a little bit, in the beginning because they put his job down. I don't know if if you know this or if you've seen this before. But they put the wrong position on his application. So when he went, he was put with, or how do I put it? When he was going into it, he got made it through boot camp just fine. But then when he was going into it, his job wasn't what he was actually going for. They put him down as a different position and they messed it totally up for him. And he almost got stuck doing something completely different, something completely he didn't want to do. But since he already signed on, he couldn't do anything about it. Luckily, I believe he still went through training, did all that, did his stuff, and got to where he wanted to. But I was like, I'm not getting screwed because somebody's mistake or somebody's like, well, I don't know if this kid can actually do it, so we're gonna put something different down.
So what I've been told, and I
Mhm.
hope the viewers can correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe even you guys if you know more than me. Um, for the Air Force and the Navy, I'm not 100% sure about the Marines, but when you enlist for a certain job, it's not a guarantee.
Yes.
As
Okay.
opposed to the Army, once you sign that contract, you're getting that job unless you fail out of the
Interesting.
school that you're going to.
Interesting. Okay. No, I 100. I don't know on the army part because obviously I didn't go through that process. But other ones, that's what I've heard too. It's like you could apply for one thing, but you could not get it, and now you're stuck with something completely different. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's no leaving unless you're, dishonorably discharged or something like that.
Mhm.
No, that's
Exactly.
but that's my story, Marco. By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned it,
No,
but
I
yeah,
never.
that was
That's interesting.
I was very close. And then I got I what was the case? I was considering doing it. I was going through the whole process, and then I was like, I went in kind of as like a, can I do this or not? I explained to them the whole situation, went through everything, did everything. And then I was like, look, okay, I'm gonna make my decision. I need a little bit to decide. I'm like, this is major life, a major
Yeah.
life decision. I don't want to just make this on a whim. He called me the next day trying to push me to do it. Then called me the following day. Then called me the following day. I said,
Sheesh.
"Fuck no, I'm not doing this now. Fuck this. I'm. You're not going to be up my ass." Which I understand with recruiters, they have a quota they have to meet.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm not going to be one of your quota people. Fuck this. I'm not. No, I'm going to decide on my own terms. I said, look, this isn't something I want to do. I don't want to sign papers tomorrow. That's what he was literally trying to get me to do. He's like, well, if you come in tomorrow, we're open later tomorrow. You can come in, sign papers, get your mom to come and sign paper. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to rush this.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I think that was the
I
right
backed
call.
out, but that's one thing I don't like about recruiters, how pushy they are. But also, I gotta, you gotta understand that they are on a deadline. They're on a quota. They have to meet their quota.
Exactly. They're on a
Or
quota.
exactly. Or they have, I don't know what happens if they don't meet it, but it's probably obviously not good if they're that pushy. Um, so that's one
Hmm.
thing that threw me off a lot. And I was like, you know what? I want to make my own decision. I just turned 18, or I didn't just turn 18, but it was a little after turn 18, and I'm like, I'm not throwing my life away because you're pushing me to do something that I don't want to
It,
do.
it's funny that you say that because in 2022, if I remember correctly, there was actually, for the Army at least, there was a big recruiting crisis, and they couldn't get anybody to join.
Yeah.
So
Really?
what they were doing was, for the guys that were already in, they were offering them huge bonuses to either reclass to another job, stay where they were at, or just even stay in.
Okay. I
That's
don't. That's interesting. That's
that.
interesting to
That's
know.
yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier. Where I feel like, especially nobody like I feel like there's such a difference of opinions, and I feel like especially for like young Americans, like growing up, like the trust between the average American citizen and their government is like not up to par. And why if
Yeah.
if you don't agree with your government's morals, why would you risk your life for it? Why would you fight for it? Like I feel like that's the thought process. At least what like I feel like as someone who's relatively young, I mean obviously we're all young here. We're not unks yet, but like obviously like in today's day and age with social media, people pushing shit, I'm very curious to see how have you seen like the ways that they've like recruiters have improved or like what their strategy has become? Has it changed, do you think?
Um, the recruiting command, I don't really know much about it. All I
Mm-hmm.
know is that they try and recruit, obviously, and they'll tell you all the benefits and all the positives, and if you ask about the negatives, they'll probably tell you the negatives, but they're not gonna.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
think
gonna
they're
tell you
gonna really
everything.
tell you all the negatives because obviously they're trying to, like you said, meet the
Yeah.
quota and get the people in there.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting how the difference between Army compared to other branches is the Army, you get to pick what you want and you get to stick with it. Other ones, it's like, well, we actually need you over here, so we're going to transfer you over and you have no say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And that's what I considered the Rangers, but I guess at the time, I didn't fully understand that Rangers was like another elite group for the Army, that they were,
Oh yeah,
that's why
75th Ranger Regiment.
I didn't understand Rangers were pretty comparable to the SEALs. Obviously, SEALs, I don't want to say are better, but they're a little bit differently trained. Obviously, they're a little bit more with water, a little bit more with, coming out. How do I put this? Gosh, it's gonna sound terrible, but like water operations. Does that make sense? Compared
Uh,
to like where Rangers, I feel like are very like urban warfare type of deal.
Yeah.
I could
So
be wrong, but you correct me if I'm wrong.
for there's there's actually a school. There's a school in the Army. It's dive school, and it teaches you how to
Okay.
be a diver.
That's
And it's
crazy.
a really enduring school. The SEALs, they do everything under the sun.
Okay. Yep.
Dive school and grunt and infantry work, and I'm sure I'm sure they even know how to fly a fucking jet for all I know. But it it's weird because from what I've seen, what I've been told, that what happens during modern combat is that the the Marines go in first, I think, and then the Army comes in, and then the Navy, and then the Air Force. I could be 100% wrong about that, but I think that's the way it goes.
Hmm.
But it's also cool too because the Marines are actually a department of the Navy. The Marines don't have their own medics; they branch out to the Navy for corpsmen, and they're called corpsmen. They're medics, and the Navy and the Marines work close. Obviously, all four branches work really close with each other if need
Mhm.
be. But the Marines and the Navy work closest together, and the Air Force and the Army work closest together.
Interesting. Okay. How cool is that?
I never
Wow.
thought about that. Yeah, no. That's good
I
though.
always thought they were like so separate and they hated each other.
Yeah. There's some friendly rivalries in every branch.
I was
Of
gonna
course.
say
Of
yeah,
course.
cause I think that what do you? Cause I know like we kind of mentioned earlier, but I know as someone who is into like the rivalries of the branches, like I know that it's an ongoing gag how people don't take the Coast Guard seriously. Or like they think that like they're like the little brother of the fucking branches. Is that like 100% true, you think?
The Coast Guard, they're actually pretty cool. I've never actually met someone who was in the Coast Guard, but ever since it became a Department of Defense affiliate, I mean affiliate's not even the right word. Ever since they became part of the Department of Defense, they they I don't think they really go overseas. I think a lot of them stay stateside.
Mm,
But I don't know anything about the Coast Guard, to be honest with you.
yeah,
I really don't. I wish I can tell you more.
I think good.
Interesting.
I like that. I think that's
All
very
right.
good. A bit of
We're gonna
banter.
get into the nitty gritty here now.
Oh fuck, I'm
How many
scared.
bitches did we fuck?
Oh boy, you asking what my body count is?
I don't know if I want a body count or when you're on deployment, is it like, pre-game?
So I've never been deployed. Um,
Okay. Or I
I've
get
only been
okay.
deployment
Stationed, I should
is,
say. Sorry.
yeah, deployment is classified as something different. I don't even know how to classify it. But I've been, when I was overseas, I was actually in a committed ass relationship for 2 years in Italy,
Okay.
and
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah.
young and dumb. It was a really toxic relationship. We ended up on not so good terms, and then we ended up rekindling on social media, and now we're fine. She's in Hawaii going to school. I'm here
Wow.
in Arizona. We don't ever talk, but I was actually in a relationship when I was in Italy for 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
Good for
Oh,
you.
so you missed out on the pleasantries. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Troy's just a
Just
big
joking, everybody.
dumbass.
I'm just joking. I
I
had to
I
ask. I feel like the people wanted to know. Is it like free game out there, or is it like a lot harder than people say?
Um,
Hear all the time. It's like, oh, I just had a
there's
baby with some Korean girl, and I have a random kid now in Korea that I've never spoken to. But
hey, there's stories like that for I'm not gonna say all military men, but for a lot of them.
wow.
And luckily, I wasn't enough to fall under that tree.
Mhm.
But every girl is different. There's always gonna be that person who likes what we think to them, or to them is foreign guys, Americans, right?
Mhm.
Um, but there's 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 beautiful women in Europe. There's also, and I'm not, this is gonna sound weird, but there's also very good looking men in Europe.
oh yeah,
Fair enough.
Italy
Fair enough.
Italy
You're
got
not
some
the only ones
studs.
out there. Okay.
Yeah.
But Clayton's pretty sexy. I think Clayton can do it. He is a very sexy. The one thing
I
I'm
had to
very
ask,
curious
okay.
about, this is kind of like in a completely different direction of Troy, is
Okay,
that
sure.
like I think, especially because obviously we talk about it a lot on the podcast, but like mental health. Like, is there good resources to like contact people in the military if you're like having any like thoughts of like depression?
Yeah, so there's actually a couple jobs dedicated to behavioral health within the
Mhm.
Army,
Really?
and you can willingly sign up for behavioral health (BH), and it's pretty much they're all licensed therapists and psychiatrists. You can talk about whatever. There's when you come out of the military, from what I know, there's programs to help you reallocate yourself into the civilian world and help with if you have PTSD, things of that nature. There's a lot of programs out there,
Mm.
and
Wow.
I think a lot of them work. I'm sure that there's some people out there who have struggled past, um, not the point of help, but need extra help and an extra push to try and help themselves. If you get what I'm saying, I'm trying to word this correctly,
Yeah,
but there's very good programs out there.
that's good. Because
Awesome.
I feel like that's something that like it's people don't talk about nearly as much. Because I feel like people always talk about how like their job in the normal world is like really bad and it fucks up with their mental, and of course that's always the scenario, but like I'm assuming like it's could be like elevated way worse if and when you're in service, or like especially when you like said PTSD when people come back. Like I just can't imagine, but I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad. Oh, you're doing all right. I always
Oh, I'm
like to
good.
ask people. That's good though. I'm glad, because especially with like I feel like it's just weird. You know what I mean? I feel like especially in today's fucking day and age and shit, I always check on the homies.
I check on the homies.
Exactly. Go check on
Always
your
got
homie
to.
today. Also, I feel like we should probably preferences. We're not. This is not a sponsored piece for the military. We're not getting paid by the military at all. We're just two dudes asking questions. We're not getting sponsored by the military, but I just thought it'd be cool to talk about it. Troy was like, you know what? Let's tap into it. I wasn't expecting to talk about this much military stuff, but I am very interested, and I'm glad we talked upon it. But I do want to talk about other things too as well,
Okay,
Of
go
course.
for it.
like baseball. We're big into baseball here. Tomorrow is opening day, and I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous because I feel like halfway through the year, once I'm 21, I'm gonna gamble a lot of money when it comes to baseball.
I
So,
forgot you turned 21 in the middle of the season. Ooh.
exactly.
Oh
So
boy.
Oh,
I know, I
right?
know. So as two veterans, I guess per se, you guys know some ball knowledge. Maybe not about baseball, but like sports betting as a whole. What is some do's and don'ts, and when it comes to sports betting?
You want to go first?
No, I'll let you take this one.
It's kind of addictive, low key,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just tell you as it is. I've lost a lot of money, and I've also won a
Yeah.
good amount, but I'm more in the red than I'm in the green. Betting baseball is hard, man. It's
Mm.
Juan Soto, for example. He can hit a double in 3 games and then shit the bed against the Rockies somehow in the next series. It's very
Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
I feel like
Um,
baseball is one of the hardest to bet, like for. You know what I mean?
consistently.
Exactly. I feel like baseball is so inconsistent, especially. I would say this. Now, if you're doing pitching and like that sort of thing, and outs and that sort of thing, you can pretty well graph it as best you can. Hitting, I feel like so up and down. It's so random. It's like some nights the one of the best players on the team will go for 4-4, and now he has he hit 2 home runs,
Mm.
whatever, and then the following game he'll go 0-4, 4 strikeouts, and you'll lose all your money because of it. Like baseball is so inconsistent because of that part
Mm.
that I personally I don't bet very much on baseball because of that. Because number one, I don't fully understand it as much as I should to bet on as much as I should. I still do because of course. Why the fuck not?
You never know.
Hey, you never know.
Today could be your
But
big
it
day.
could be that day that
What
you
do
win that
you What do you think
20
is the
grand. But
easiest sport to predict? Like when it comes to betting in the market.
Oh, I think football.
I think football. I agree with that. How should I put this? Hold on. I would say football is I shouldn't say it's easy to bet on, but if you understand it and understand the matchup, that's going to be your best bet. If you can understand matchups from team to team, you're going to be golden. You're not going to have too many problems. You're going to run into every once in a while, somebody doesn't do as good as they should. But if you're betting and you're like, you know what, this player, averages 80 yards a game and you bet 80 yards and then he goes for 25, happens all the time. I hate to say it because somebody, the the third option wide receiver just goes off and goes for 160 that game. Like, damn, if I only put that bet in to, for this one person to go for 100 yards. I feel like football is the easiest, but overall, sports betting, I don't think is easy. 100%. I do not think
No,
it's
you
easy.
really
Yeah.
even during the research, it's still a gamble. Because
Mhm.
I'll tell you,
100%.
I can do I'm more of a basketball fan than I am a football.
Okay.
Baseball is
Yeah.
obviously number one. Um, but I know a lot about basketball, right? I know players, I know stats, I know awards, I know all these things, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know, a lot of the time, and I hate saying this, I kind of go off instinct,
Yep.
and I say, oh yeah, LeBron will get, for
Oh,
example,
yeah. It
LeBron will
happens all
get
the
six
time.
assists
Yep.
tonight. He had, oh, actually tonight, the other night, I had him for 25. He scored 0 through 3 quarters and had like 8 assists. I'm like, fuck, man. I
Yep.
usually do his assists. Why didn't I do that?
Happens all the time. That's what
Mhm.
basketball is. Basketball's weird. Is the half the problem you got to worry about is people just not playing. So if you put a bet in before, obviously they cancel the bet, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, the dynamic is a little bit different if they don't have their 5 starters starting. It might be how should I put this? This is probably a better way to put it. The sports that have a high game count, aka basketball and baseball, are super hard to bet against because you never know who's playing, who's not playing. One, and number two, when you have that many games, you don't know who's going to win or lose. Anybody could win on any given day, and when you have 82 games in the NBA schedule and 120 in baseball,
162, right?
162 games, how are you
Yeah.
supposed to know who's going to win? It's like, oh, this is a guaranteed win. The Dodgers are playing the Rockies. They got this. Oh, wow. Rockies just won
Exactly.
2
Swept the
out of
Dodgers
3.
somehow.
Exactly. It's like, wow, all right, what's going on? And then
I'll
next
tell
next series they go and win 3-0. It's like, how are you going to bet on that? It's
Mhm.
super hard, but at the same point, it's like you understand it,
Yeah.
usually you're okay. Now at the same point, I want to preface this for everybody. Do not bet more than you can afford to
Yeah.
lose. 100%. That's
it's
especially
true.
with gambling. When I go to the casino, I 100% am okay with losing 100. Usually, I bring $100 to the casino. I am okay with losing $100. So if I walk out there with 0, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I had a good Saturday night. It was fun. I lost $100, but I'm okay with that because I knew walking in I'm gonna lose that. If you go
Hey,
into it being like, you know what, this is my last $100, I have to make this work. I have to win. You're gonna number one, you're almost guaranteed to lose.
house
Mhm.
always wins.
House always wins. Number two,
Yeah.
especially sports betting, it's like, oh my gosh, this is my last $50. I'm gonna hit it big. This guy's gonna score he's gonna pass for 3 touchdowns and then he plays and he scores 1 and goes for 100 yards and you're like, what just happened? I just lost all my money now. I can't pay my bills. Do not do that.
Yeah.
100%. That's the part. That's where addiction kicks in. You don't want to do that part.
It's easier
Like
said
that's the
than done.
worst.
Yeah. I,
100%. It's just you got to. I set that rule for myself for that reason that I'm okay with losing my money because I know
I
at the end of the day, if I lose it, I'm okay.
Mhm.
last weekend, and this is the god honest truth for the viewers out there, guys, or just don't gamble at all. Because I went to the casino last
Oh
Friday.
yeah. Yeah. I
Hey,
think I
I
know.
lost 2.5 grand.
Holy
Ooh.
shit! Wow. See,
Wow.
and
that's what I'm
and it
talking
was
about.
it was it was rough, man. I live in Arizona, so I'm an hour away. I'm next to the border of Mexico and the US, but Tucson is like an hour and 20 minutes away. I said, "Fuck it, man. You know what? I got I got some money to spend. I walk in there thinking, oh, I'm gonna fucking walk out with a property title in my hand. Let alone they
Exactly.
walk out with with a couple grand in their hand. The casino does. I'm like, fuck, dude. But luckily enough, hey, this is not going back to the military topic, but luckily enough, I don't have very many bills, and I can make that back within a
Yeah,
paycheck.
exactly. You're like, okay, I can make this back. It's not the end of the world. I
Mhm.
can still pay my
But
bills at the end of the day.
on the other hand, I wanted to ask you guys this as well. If we're all baseball fans, who is winning MVP? Who is winning the World
Mm.
Series? Who's winning AL?
Holy
I
shit!
Uh,
Oh
I made
god,
a
here we
whole
who's
go.
winning NL?
video about that. I
Yeah,
did a
we
whole
all right.
prediction.
I don't even remember, Marco. Who do I say? I said Dodgers versus who?
I'm not sure. I have Dodgers and Mariners World Series. I think I think that's what's gonna come to. I have hold on. I have
This
a
pathetic.
list. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, Clayton, earlier. But I did this shit and I was locked in because I really had to sit there and think about it. I'm not gonna get into. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick because I'm fucking. I think I'm good on it. So obviously for AL MVP, I have Judge. I think that's always a safe bet. If we're
Over
it's
Cal? Wild.
over, I think Cal is gonna have bit more of a down season. I think he's not hitting the 60 home runs or whatever the fuck, not 60, fucking. How many home runs did he hit? 50 something.
Last season?
Yeah, was it 60 or am I tripping?
Oh, I don't know. You might have to look it up for me.
Yeah, but like I think he's definitely not gonna be as productive. I mean, obviously we saw the fucking WBC performance that he had, not that all great, nothing to whole right about. Um, I have Garrett Crochet for Cy Young. I think Crochet is
Really?
gonna slightly do better
Really?
than Screwball.
I
I
don't
How
think
about
think.
Yoshi?
that's NL, but I think I have Yoshi. Yeah, I have Yoshi being runner up. I have Skeens winning Cy Young.
Yeah, I agree. I think Skeen's gonna have another breakout year and get another one.
Dude, he's
I agree with that.
fucking nuts. And of course the fucking Mets have to face him opening day.
Of course, of
It's
course. I can't
fuck
wait for that.
yeah, the
I
fucking
can't wait for Mets to
and the
start off
fucking
on a loss.
no, bro. Once Skeens is out of the 6th or 7th, I think fucking Mets do damage. The
You guys are going
Pirates,
against the
Probably.
Pirates the first game?
yep. We're
Ooh.
in New
Yeah,
York at least. We have home advantage, but we
that's good
also
at least.
have Peralta starting for us. First game is a Met. I'm excited for that. But I have Skeens. I obviously have Otani being MVP for NL. I mean, it's dude. As long as that man is living and breathing, he's just nobody is gonna even be close. I think he
Hey,
just.
I'll be honest here. I don't think Soto's gonna be that. I think he's hitting less than 40 bombs this year.
That's funny because I have him being runner up for MVP.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I think who else would have been? I mean, I don't think Schwarber does the same thing he does. I think Schwarber's gonna have at least 45 tanks this year. But do you think he's gonna be top three? MVP voting though
For AL?
for NL.
For NL?
Yeah, Schwarber's NL.
Well, yeah, no, I thought the Mets were AL for a second. I mean, there's Shohei,
My apologies.
there's Mr. Smiles,
Lindor, yeah.
there's Cal.
Cal's
I mean, I
AL.
don't know. I don't know. I
You
don't
think
know.
Cal Raleigh's gonna have another great season?
I think he's gonna be really
I
good.
think he's gonna be productive, but I don't think he's gonna have what he had this past year. I think he's gonna just like Schwarber. I think it's going to be like one of those years that he did really good last season, and then this season he's going to go right back to just being good, but nothing no award worthy.
Yeah. He had a fucking awakening season. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Um, I have this is a bit of a hot take, but because I picked him up in a couple of my fantasy leagues, but I have Munetaka Murakami getting Rookie of the Year. The
You
dude
know,
from
I don't. Why did he go to the White Sox?
that was the biggest fucking wow factor. They were calling him Japanese Babe Ruth. They were saying that he was gonna get 3-figure deal, 10 years. Nobody picked because they were worried about his defense and his swing rate or some shit like that. And apparently that scared off a lot of people. And the White Sox got him for a fucking bargain. Like That is fucking sickening. Because he's gonna hit. I think he might hit at least 30 tanks this year.
I think hot take. I think White Sox are going to come out and be a decent team because didn't they get what's his name, the one of the best pitchers?
Who?
Who?
I
The
could be
what?
tripping. I might be
I
thinking
don't.
of
I
somebody.
couldn't name a single soul in the White
Who'd
Sox
Screwball
pitching
go to?
rotation. Screwball?
He's still on the Tigers.
He's
He's
still
still
on
in
Tigers.
Tigers.
You
He's
think they're going to be above 500? Or you think they're going to make 500
no.
on the season?
No.
Who is in the
Oh well.
division
Do
again?
you wait? Do you mean White Sox or do you mean Tigers?
The White Sox.
Personally, I think they're going to actually do really well. Like
That's
it's
your
one of the
hot
teams
take.
that
You
it's
think the
like,
White Sox?
yeah,
Are
I
do
think
good?
they're going to do really well. I think they're going to be a playoff team.
No
And
fucking.
I don't think they're going to
Wow.
go anywhere that far, but I think they may win a couple games. You know.
Maybe the wild card.
No
Yeah.
fucking
They might
wild.
win the wild card but then lose in divisional. But
And
of course, it all depends.
knowing the Mets will probably lose to the White Sox in the wild card because
Of
that's
course.
the Mets' luck
course.
as always every year.
Do you have
I'm-
We'll ask Clayton. Are you a Mets or Phillies fan?
Neither. He's
No,
what do you
I'm a
think he
Dodger
is?
fan.
He's
Oh
fucking,
yeah, he's from LA. What am I thinking?
he's a basic fucking cuck.
He's a basic bitch.
Man, I gotta rep the teams even when they're doing bad. I was a Dodger fan through and through.
When they're doing bad, they just won what 2 straight.
Well, hey, I was a Dodger fan. I was a Dodger fan growing up too.
That's what they all say.
2012.
The Dodgers were
2011.
always a dynasty. I mean, like obviously for a while in the '90s and '80s, it was always the Yankees, and then obviously the 2000s, it was slowly becoming the Dodgers, and the 2010s Dodgers, and now we're seeing the Mets trying to dabble. I mean,
Listen,
it's
Mets
crazy.
dabble. What the fuck? What are we on?
I was a Laker fan when Brandon Ingram was on the team.
Ooh,
That's crazy. That's a crazy hot take.
that's a crazy pull.
Shit was wild.
I don't know. I just think that especially now the Yankees aren't spending nearly as much as the Dodgers. I mean, if the Dodgers, I mean, obviously as a Dodger fan, I hope you can agree with me, Clayton. If they do three-peat, it's just securing a lockout for the 2027 season.
I think there's gonna be a lockout regardless.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah.
I think the press is gonna have a field day if the Dodgers three-peat, even if they, like you
100%.
said. But like, obviously, we've had this conversation before on the channel. But like, we say like, there obviously, I don't think there should be a salary cap. I think there should be a salary floor, so that other owners of MLB teams, these
They have to
millionaires,
spend money.
these million and billionaires that own the teams, to actually fucking spend money on their team instead of just profitizing.
with
Like,
that.
it's fucking sickening. Because I'm if not wrong, doesn't the NFL have a floor cap or a floor or whatever?
They have a cap.
Both big leagues, NFL and NBA, both have a floor and a cap.
Interesting.
I don't know about floor, but
I
I know
think.
they have a cap.
But here's the thing, right? If there's I think I'd rather them have a floor than a cap.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. Number one, it's gonna fuck so many teams if they have a cap, like a hard cap, especially. If they have a floor, it's gonna, a lot of these shitty ass teams are spent. Well, we did the research, and some of these teams are literally spending 20 million a year on all players. It's like 20 or 30 million the entire year, and then you have the Dodgers at 300 and some million. Like, come on. Obviously, these teams are going to do very well, where the Dodgers are going to do so much better.
Why do you think why do you think the managers are like, or the team owners are like that though?
Greedy. They just want to keep number one, they want to keep their money. Number two, they don't really care that much about, they just care that as long as they're making money, that's what matters at the end of the day. And then the other thing I think is I should say owners compared to managers, but owners especially, some of them are more like, look, I have so much money. I would much rather see my team that I love win and keep winning than and spend the money to help them win, compared to other managers where it's like, or other owners where it's like, look, I only have this much. I don't want to spend all this money on all these good players because then, I don't have as much money. I think that's a little bit of a difference between, owner to owner. I think it's a very small amount that don't want to spend money on their team, that want to try to keep it as cheap as possible.
I think they're just fans of Moneyball. I think they
exactly
the whole.
What do you think, Ace? Because the Mets have a really wealthy guy as their team owner, right?
Exactly. I know.
Nah, man,
Okay.
we're pretty humble with our money.
Oh, you're like top 7. You're literally
We're
you're like
literally.
top
I
5
think
or something like that.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Steve Cohen is the richest owner of MLB, even better than the Dodgers. The Dodgers spend more money, but I think when it comes to actual like self wealth, I think Steve Cohen is the richest. I think he's like $3 billion,
Do you
probably.
think they should get rid of the deferral contract method?
The yeah. Cause
Because
Explain this to me a little bit.
so the fur like
so you
cause
know how
kind of like
Shohei signed for however
Oh, yeah,
millions and millions of dollars, but they're
five
deferring
hundred
500
it
million
million.
until
for
like
10
20.
years, but deferred it, and it won't start hitting until his 10th year or something like that, or
So yeah,
11th
like
year?
Otani
Yeah,
got
like he's
probably
getting paid like
paid 2 million.
I think he's getting
He's
paid
like
like
2 or
a
3.
couple million a
Yep.
year, and then it's gonna really hit his bank account a couple years into the when he starts playing.
They do that to like save the money, I guess per se, and I guess fucking God knows why, but it is
More than
a
likely. It's probably because they're looking like, 10 years down the road, this organization is gonna be worth double, and now, 700 million isn't gonna look that big compared to, other contracts, and it's gonna be like, "You know what? I'd rather pay it now rather than, 10 years ago when we were worth half what we're worth now."
mhm.
And that
Yeah, that's
might
true.
be the case, or it's just, it's a smart ownership, smart managerial staff, and they're like, "Look, we can get them for real cheap right now and pay them later, and just win a shit ton right now, and then become irrelevant for 5 years, like the Dodgers kind of did, and then out of nowhere they become relevant again."
Mm. I think it's easier said than done, because as you
100%.
know, we're you're a Phillies fan, Clayton's a Dodger, and I'm a Mets fan. We're in the top 5 richest teams in the MLB,
Yeah.
and if we're like if there even is any fucking Washington Nationals fans or Rockies or White Sox or Tampa Bay Ray fans like out there, like it's not fair. Obviously, like again, I crack the jokes. I'm very that's why when the Mets do fucking shit, I especially get the brunt of it because like the infamous, oh, you spend X so much money on Juan Soto when he didn't save you. I'm like, well, Juan Soto did fucking fantastic. It's the rest of our team, and especially, and I count this as pettiness, is that like we don't sign our players, we don't re-sign the people that we need and the people that are
Yeah.
contributing. Like again, I obviously I got back into MLB in 2021. And a lot of that was to do with Pete Alonso, and obviously he was the guy that I fell in love with baseball, and obviously it fucking broke me to shreds and pieces that once he left. But like obviously when you think about it, like well like the money's there, like there's no reason like we can't afford what he's asking. Obviously to like for like a kind of like a logistic standpoint, like maybe he's aging, his defense isn't all that great and all that, but like he's still like we don't re-sign our players the way we need to. That's what the Dodgers take advantage of. And I think I'm not saying it in a bad way. Like they're really fucking good with contracts. They have a mentality. They have the mentality. I think like an investment where like they give them a blank check, and if it pans out, it pans out. If it doesn't, oh well. It's not like they're losing money because all the money. Think about like I said with the deferral contract with Otani. There's so much other sort of revenue that the Dodgers are getting. The biggest revenue that the Dodgers are getting are the viewers from Japan because my God, like America was born and created in America, but baseball is hot take. Baseball is so much more bigger in Japan than America. They take
Because
it.
of the WBC though, no?
Oh my God, the WBC like that's another thing too, and I'm really curious to see what you guys think about that. But like, I'm really curious to see
Uh,
what you guys think about it because like one of the main criticisms that of the WBC is that all these teams are having so much fun. They're vibrant. They're personnel, and people are shitting on America because we're taking it super seriously. Like no personality. Like you have fucking Italy taking shots of espresso. You have Venezuela with like the musical instruments and all that. Like it's all, and then like America is like we taking this shit serious. What do you guys think America took it too seriously?
I think honestly, this is what kind of I see every year. It's every couple years, USA comes out with a super team. that all the big shots, all the top players come and play in the WBC, and it's like, oh, it's a guaranteed win, and we got fucking shown up.
Mm.
It was ridiculous. We
Absolute.
lost to fucking Italy, had to go in the losers bracket, and then obviously we came back and we won against everybody else, and then went into the championship and lost against Venezuela. But I feel as though it should be more important than just every couple years we do
Yeah.
really good. I feel like it should be something that's more of a. It should be more. How should I put it? America should have a better culture for the WBC. It shouldn't be
Mhm.
every couple years they decide to have a good team. It should be every year. The top guys want to go out and perform and show up and be that guy for America
Yeah.
and win the world championship.
Because I definitely do think that there's people that like you said, like for other countries, this means the world to them. This means like
Yep,
literal like
exactly.
the fight, like. But for most of the people on Team USA, it's just another exhibition game. It says like another like
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
and then you have like people like in the fucking Czech Republic, like the fucking electrician, a fucking everyday average Joe electrician striking out Shohei Ohtani, like. They're just doing that shit for the love of the fucking game, throwing 58
Exactly.
miles an hour, 60 miles an hour to fucking professional big leaguers. I think that there is like obviously I'm not saying that everybody who played on Team USA didn't play with their heart out and didn't like did it for the pride of the country, but like I was happy. Obviously the better team on paper, it seemed like America had it in the bag. Obviously everybody said that.
100%.
But like in the moment, like the personality and the vibe, like I feel like the Venezuela had it just played better
Yeah,
because
I agree.
fucking our supposed U.S. captain Aaron Judge 0 for fucking 4 when we needed him the most. Fucking fraud. Fucking all I gotta say is that David Wright was a better Team USA captain. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. What are your
Just
thoughts on that,
glaze
Clay?
in the Mets.
Of
This is
course,
what
I
he
gotta
does
do a little
every
tricks on
week.
it.
It's always, oh, the Mets is, Mets that,
I
and then
gotta
they
do a
go and miss
little
the
trick.
playoffs. Well,
There weren't
actually,
even any Mets on the fucking USA team, was there?
it tells you something.
That we have a lot of dude.
You have a
Unlike
lot
the
of international
Phillies,
players.
the
I'm just
Phillies are a
kidding.
bunch of fucking crackers. At least with American, with the Mets, like we got a little bit of spice. We got a little bit of
Yeah, okay, if that's
all
what you
over
want
the
to call
place.
it.
Your only fucking like maybe like your outfield is all white. Besides now you have Adolis Garcia. Now you have a little bit of spice. Now you
Our
got a
infield's
little
all white too.
crackers. That's the problem. You
This
fucking
fool
see.
said crackers.
You fucking see the Dominican Republic? My fucking God. How do you know I'm
Hey, that
Dominican,
team was
Bobby?
stacked to the brim, huh?
Tank. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God. There
that's
wasn't
like
any. I think they
honestly,
might have
that's
the
another
most
super
tanks.
team. The Dominican Republic is always a super team.
100%. I'm really surprised that we kept in the 1 run. The entire. I mean, obviously that controversial fucking the play at the
Yeah.
very end with
Yep.
fucking that called strike. Oh, absolute fucking bullshit in my opinion. But like, honestly, I'm a bit disappointed. I feel like I think that mentality of like what I was saying earlier, like it's just a glorified exhibition game. They didn't really care that much, and I feel like that was the mentality that got them because like we have fucking Mark DeRosa, the manager, already thinking that they already made it, and it was that mentality that like got them fucked up and like oh shit, we actually have to lock in, and they didn't lock in when it comes to my glorious team Italy. God, I really wished it was America versus Italy in the finals. I would have loved that. I would probably root for Italy, the underdog team. But
I was just my whole thing with Italy it made me so confused. Why the fuck is Aaron Nola playing for Italy? It made no sense.
must have no. He must have an Italian hair.
Yeah,
Why
he's just like, oh wait, Aaron Nola's playing against USA. What the
What about
fuck is
Austin
going
Wells
on
playing
out
for
there?
DR?
I was just about to say that fucking Austin Wells, probably speaking like hola and like oh you're playing for the Dominican Republic now. You good? And that's how you're in. Like I mean, but dude, the fucking Austin Wells was balling out for fucking the Dominican Republic. It's really, I mean, honestly, like the thing is, right, is that as someone who I don't know, like say right, say I didn't retire when I was fucking 10 years old from baseball, and I made it to the big leagues. Like That would be a kind of a cool conversation you would have with your teammates. Where like for me example, I have Italian family, I have Italy, family in Italy and all that. Or I could play for Team America. Like I feel like punching your ticket to America is like an easy win. You're done. But like playing for an underdog country, like that's gotta be a cool conversation to have. And I feel like it's a cool problem to have.
Yeah,
But I don't
I
know.
agree.
I'm excited for the Olympics though, because now baseball is going to be in the Summer Olympics in 2028. But I'm very curious how to see that because that's in the middle of the season. So I don't know how teams would feel about their stars in the middle of an important season, taking them and then go playing in the Olympics.
Yeah, really.
Because like especially that's the reason why Lindor didn't play or Carlos Correa or Jose Altuve didn't play for the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico because of the team's health insurance. They're like, yeah, no, we're not risking that. That's why Mike Trout didn't play for Team USA. I would have
Yeah,
loved
that's
to fucking
stupid.
have him, but like no,
Fucking course, he'd probably go fucking off. It seems like Trout every time he plays in WC, he goes off.
I hope, man.
He's a dog,
I
but
think he's gonna have a
that's
You think
monster
he's gonna do
season.
good? You think he's gonna be?
Oh
Yeah, I tell you,
yeah.
that's another MVP if he stays healthy. By the way.
Cause like the Angels have him playing center
Yeah.
field again, and he hasn't played center field since his like rookie days. They like, I saw a TikTok like he invested in like those red cell therapy things like helps regenerate like some scientific mumbo jumbo, and they're banking on the fact that we're gonna get prime like 2014-15 Trout back. I hope so. I also hope I feel bad because he's gonna be one of the players. I'm sure there's an NFL or NBA comparison to be like the greatest in their sport and never win a championship ring of all time. Like
Who would that be? Who would that be in the NBA? I
I
think
couldn't
For
tell
what?
you.
Say it
Who
again.
who's the
as like one
greatest
of the
NBA
greatest to win.
player?
Paul
They've
George.
Paul
Paul
George.
Yeah.
George being one of them.
Greatest
Uh,
NBA player?
Then they're
like
like the
one of the
greatest
greats. You know,
that
like
that
one
have
of those
never won
powerhouse people.
that has never won like a
Chris Paul.
championship.
Chris Paul. Yep. Oh yeah, he just retired too. So yep, Chris Paul's
Yep.
one of those.
Mm.
I'm trying to think. Who else would there be? Paul
Um.
George, I feel like used to be amazing, and then he just nothing ever happened with him. Well, Russell
Allen
Westbrook,
Iverson.
Calvin.
Mm.
Yeah, what team was
didn't-
he on again?
He was on the 76ers. He was on the Nuggets. I think there
Iverson
was
never
one
won
more.
with the 76ers?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm thinking of Allen. I'm thinking of Allen Iverson. Are we talking
Yeah,
about
Allen Iverson.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said Calvin. I was like, wait. Okay.
No.
Oh. That's another one that's a Philly great that never won a ring. Yep. I
Mm.
think who else would
What
there
about
be?
what about NFL?
Dan Marino.
I don't know. I don't know football enough.
Dan
Yeah, Jesus
Marino.
Christ
He's a
department.
very
Dan Marino.
old Dolphins quarterback. He used to be great. At this fucking rate, Josh Allen. Honestly, Lamar Jackson is another one that still has yet to win. Now, obviously, they still have years to play. They're not,
Yeah,
they're not
but the
retiring
way
in the
it's
next couple of years.
shaping,
But
yeah.
trying to think who else.
Like the main
Gosh.
question people have is that like, especially in like MLB, and like they can be very petty with like Hall of Fame, like they're very like needy about like greedy about like Hall of Fame inductions, like how so and so isn't in the Hall of Fame because of injury maybe, or someone like Mike Trout, like even though he has never won a championship ring, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? I think Mike Trout's a first ballot Hall of
100%.
Famer.
I think it was game changer back in the day.
Like it sucks that that's what loyalty does to a person. Like, and I respect the fuck
I
out of
agree.
him. Like, obviously the money would have been better somewhere else, but like he truly do. And again, you have poor Angels fans, like, and talk about. I'm not sure. I don't know who the Angels GM is, but I'm sure like they're not doing an as good job with fucking keeping track with money and all that and shit. Um, but like, my God, it sucks because he saw like I'm assuming. I want to know what that conversation was like when he found out that Otani was going to the Dodgers. Like he's leaving the Angels, he's winning
He had to be so
champion.
disappointed. The other all-star on his team is just leaving. He's just stuck.
Yeah.
My thing is, I get he's loyal, but sometimes you gotta leave. If your end goal is not to make money,
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta give
Look
yourself
at
the best
Rendon.
chance.
That fool
Oh my
stole from the Angels.
god. That
Legally
prob
stole, legally robbed.
I want to say that like obviously it's well known about the whole Bobby Bonilla thing with the Mets, like how awful that contract was, but like that like dude, I'm not even an Angels fan and I'm fucking pissed off about him. That dude's a fucking asshole. Oh
Who?
my god, Anthony Rendon. So basically, long story short, dude was a stud for the Nationals. He was a part of that 2019 World Series national win,
With Bryce Harper and
Oh yeah,
Soto and
yep.
Scherzer and
and he got a do you remember like the how long the contract, how much money it was?
for the Angels,
Yeah,
it was something it was something insane. It was like I feel like it was
I
like
think it was 300
400 million
million.
for not even for like 9 years. Let me look it up.
Mm,
Let's see.
Uh,
Angel contract.
7 year, 245 million.
And at the
Yeah.
time, it was probably insane.
So yeah, he
Not like
signed
nowadays,
in
but
December 2019 with the Angels, and he was basically like the softest fucking player you'd ever known. Like he would
really,
like hurt his toe and he'll fucking like be out for the
he
rest of
wouldn't
the
play.
season. And
Oh
he
Jesus!
so and not even like that. Like he had off the field problems with fans, um, and I'm sure like there's so many other like he played like at least 80 games a year, if not even less or more maybe. Um, and it was really bad. And I think he just retired. I think the Angels bought out the rest of his contract, and they just said fuck off. Honestly, this is a horrible.
I mean, yeah,
See,
he did it bad.
but like, see,
Really?
that's the thing,
Wow.
right? I feel like if this is situations with the Dodgers, I feel like they can just buy another third baseman and they'll completely ignore the fact about Rendon. But I feel like I think it's because of the Angels and they're not. The Angels are when you think of big long term contracts, you don't think of the Angels. That's why I feel like it's way more of a bigger deal that the Angels did this. But I also feel like again, Rendon's just an asshole and fucking scammed the shit out of the Angels.
Yeah,
But
he really did.
fucking
Wow.
insane. But no, that dude, that's a whole different topic. He's just an asshole and as a whole. Um, but what do you? I said MVP. I think Skeens. I said Otani. I think that the Dodgers are winning the division. I have San Diego being a runner-up. I think the Padres are going to be good this year, but I think they get cut short. I don't know, man. I think now that there's still some injured players on the Braves, and I really don't think the Phillies are going to do all that great. I think this might be a first place Mets team, if not second place.
Think. See, I just saw something that they're saying that this is the best team that Bryce Harper's been on for the Phillies.
It's the same fucking team.
That's what I'm saying. But I know they did make a couple adjustments. A couple.
I'm
Apparently, it's the
really
best Phillies
surprised.
team
Is
we've
your
seen.
is
I
your
don't know if
ace
I believe
coming
that.
back this year?
Wheeler's
Who?
still
Wheeler?
injured, I
Yeah.
think. I think he's
Well,
still
Wheeler's gonna
recovering.
come
I'm
back,
not
but
sure if they said. I don't think he's on the opening day roster, but I know the Phillies called up their top pitching prospect, who supposedly is supposed to be really nutty, and he's going to be good for you. So I think the Phillies lost a lot. They lost Ranger Suarez, which is a big deal. But they just I think they literally just extended Christopher Sanchez for 6 years. I think.
Yeah.
So you have Christopher Sanchez, Lazardo, um, Nola, Andrew Painter, the rookie, the prospect, and I'm blanking on the last per Taiwan Walker, which I don't know why the fuck you guys have Taiwan Walker showing your team. Respectfully, as a Mets fan, you can keep him honestly. So thanks for taking him, but I
Better than Noel
think
McLean.
dude, don't let me clean it. Oh, we don't talk about that. Like man, he's a
Oh, you had a
rookie.
hard spot.
He's a rookie. I think he's gonna get rookie of the year for the National League. I think. I mean, there's not that many like
As a
compelling.
pitcher, that's pretty crazy.
I think he does. I don't know who else is like rookies coming up for the 2026 season. I'm not 100% sure. Um,
I don't really follow baseball drafts.
Neither
I feel
do
like that's
I. I
just
don't do
so
like the
much.
nitty gritty. I just know that fucking McLean was nasty for us last year for a couple games. Obviously, I am a little bit shaken up after seeing his performance in the WBC, but I think hey, you know what? Fuck, we ball. But like the thing with the Phillies, right, is that like Harper, I'm not sure how long he has left on his contract, but like the team is getting older. You know what I mean? And like
100%, they are. I
we
agree
talked
with
about
that.
before, where like their window of opportunity is quickly expiring. Because
Yeah.
obviously you guys did a big thing. I think it was a smart move extending Schwarber. Rather, if he doesn't
I do
have the
not,
fucking
but
50 home runs, he's still going to get, like I said, 40, 45 home runs for you guys. I think he's going to be a fucking. Um, you guys extended JT or Muta, which a little bit of risky. I get, but
I love that. I
he's a team
fucking love that.
player. He's dwindled in fucking offense, but obviously he's one of the best defensive catchers still.
Hey, what about the A's?
Oh,
I heard they're
A's.
They could be.
all young, and apparently they're all good.
Dude,
They
I
can
think
all.
they
They could be
make it.
slept on, low key.
I think they make it in the playoffs in the next 5 years.
Because
I
they also
think
got Luis Severino, and he's just a god. He's
ugh,
just a god pitcher for
another
WBC.
another Mets
Right.
legend, Luis Severino. I mean, they just yoinked our veteran Jeff McNeil, even though he's not that good anymore, respectfully. But I mean, they have a lot of young people. I'm impressed because they extended their players, which is something that the fucking Mets didn't do. They extended Nick Kurtz. They extended Jacob Wilson.
Dude.
They extended Lawrence Butler. They're extending their young people. And honestly, if I'm an A's fan, although I'm pissed off for them that they had to leave Oakland, but like I feel like they're gonna start balling out once they move into Vegas. I feel like talk about a team that gets revenue, like you're going to Vegas, like the most entertaining capital, whatever the fuck the name it has. I feel like they're gonna start raking in cash, and they're gonna start using that to.
I think the Blue Jays aren't gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go far.
You don't think so?
You don't think?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't think so. Only for
They
the fact
signed
that
that Japanese third baseman who's supposedly really really good. I don't know enough about. I know I mean they still got Scherzer in their rotation, which good for him. He still has a job, but
hey, they got Dylan Cease too.
I forgot. Dylan Cease is washed though. He's not the same person anymore.
You think so?
He was not good
I
on
don't
the
know.
Padres. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Vladdy, they did lose Bo Bichette, obviously Mets legend. Who else is on their team? They have
I mean, Addison had a good year last year.
Barger. Yeah, they do. They have Ernie Clement, who's solid. I don't know. You're right. I think the AL East is going to be a fun division to watch because people have the Orioles doing really good, and I was always told
They always start off hot every year and just shit
yeah.
the bed.
Obviously, they're another team that is focused on young people. Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, who else? Jackson Holiday. Obviously, now that they have
Yeah.
Adley's so washed.
dude, Adley's is really embarrassing about it. I feel bad, but he still got some time. I know that there were
Go
rumors
ahead.
that he was gonna get traded to the Phillies.
People are saying that the Red Sox might be good too, but I just don't see it.
No, they have a nutty rotation now.
Who did
Ranger
they get?
Suarez.
They're one of the ones that picked up somebody.
Yeah, they picked Ranger Suarez from the Phillies.
Yeah.
They have Ranger.
Who,
They
who
have
do they got for bats though?
Bats,
Roman
Anthony,
Trevor Story, who's
Trevor
old.
Story, Yoshida, Masataka Yoshida, Wilbur Abreu, whatever the fuck his name is, Jaron Duran.
Willie Abreu.
Got Jaron Duran. They're a solid team. I think they get second place. I think Yankees get first, but like I definitely do think that I think the Red Sox do good. The Blue Jays are real because again, that's why I loved watching the American League teams because obviously all of us are in the National League, so we don't really watch that much or pay attention to AL teams. But like, I didn't know the Blue Jays had it in them. I didn't know that they were good. But they took the Dodgers to 7 games. My God, the last year's World Series was so fucking good.
And they were inches from winning, or they were inches from continuing.
They were fucking 2 or 3 outs away. And then Phillies legend Jeff Hoffman came in and fucking if you would have told me that out of the billion-dollar payroll of the Dodgers, that fucking Miguel Rojas would be the hero. I would not have fucking believed you. I watched that live and I felt all like the joy and all the fucking feelings out of my body just dwindle. I'm like, oh my god, there's no way he just did that. And then,
I mean, all the powers in the NL, all the big bats are in the NL.
it's true.
Yeah.
Because and we talked about this at the time, where like every American League matchup was so much more better than the National League was boring. Like the Dodgers just absolutely abused the Reds, they abused the Phillies, they abused the fucking Brewers, and then that was it. But like with every fucking American League game, like the Tigers and Guardians always have a good series. The Blue
Yeah.
Jays and Yankees series is really fucking good. And like everything was so much more entertaining. And then the Mariners and Tigers game with fucking a newly acquired Met Jorge Polanco hitting that walk off single. Oh man, that was such a fucking good series. I'm excited for play. I guess to wrap it up here, I'm not sure, but I've seen some bold hot takes on TikTok that compared to like the other big sports like the Super Bowl or the finals or the Stanley Cup. Do you think that the MLB has the best atmosphere when it comes to postseason game?
Uh, better than the Super Bowl,
Mm,
that's for sure.
I think
Better
so.
the Stanley Cups. I don't know. I've never really been to a playoff game for a hockey
Neither have
game, so
I.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But I'll tell you what. I don't think that we will ever get close unless it was the the Lindor Cleveland swing. Remember that?
Oh
The
my
grand slam.
Santa Maria.
That was electric, but I don't think we will ever get close to anything like the Warriors in 2016.
Mm,
100%. 73 and 8.
That atmosphere. Can you just imagine walking into an opposing stadium and then just Warriors?
mm.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
That's the year that LeBron came back down 3-1, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I honestly probably the greatest comeback of all time.
LeBron and friends.
Yep. And
that's fucking crazy.
the sad part is LeBron was fucking him and Kyrie were carrying a bunch of doo-doo heads. There was nobody on that team. You had Kevin Love, okay. Who
Yeah,
else was
Tristan
on the
Thompson.
fucking team? Nobody else. Was Tristan on there? Was he actually good at
Think so,
that
yeah.
season?
I think was JR there too?
Mm,
I don't know.
I don't know.
But what do you think,
Anyway,
Troy?
but
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
to
you
answer
go.
Ace's question, I think it's second best. NBA is the best.
Interesting. I mean, I have seen some electric fucking NBA calls.
What do you mean for championship wise? NBA is the best.
Yeah, like the atmosphere, like the vibe and the
100%.
aesthetic.
No, absolutely not. I
You know,
totally disagree with that. The NBA has literally been every year their viewership has been dropping.
I'll probably say
Every
more
year.
recent. I have seen studies about that, but because I keep seeing clips of people like shitting on the All Star. I mean the NBA All Star game, the dunking
Oh, it was
contest.
so shit this year, and it was in LA.
Dude,
course
that
it was.
clip of that dude eating shit at the dunk contest. I feel bad for laughing. But, oh, that's bad. That's not good.
2010s was the best era for sports, in my opinion.
Oh, without a doubt.
100%.
Without a doubt.
Like, dude, steroid ball. Good God, that shit was special.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
honestly, a bold again, this is a super ultra mega bold hot take. I think under certain medical supervision and not to the overextent, juice up players. You know how
Yes, it
entertaining
just makes the game so much better.
like who gives a fuck? Like it's like obviously again, don't like overdo it to the point of like a heart attack or a medical disease or anything like that, but like everybody was talking about the great race, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds and everybody else. And, like now I feel like they're fucking like I will say like baseball, there's actual proof of this. Like the viewership of baseball has skyrocketed the past 5 years because of especially the pitch clock. Like games are no longer like fucking 4 hours
I
long.
do not like the pitch clock.
Really? Why?
Do not like it.
Really, I think it keeps something.
I am one of those people who thinks that it causes more injury, but
Mm,
I have been proven wrong.
yeah.
But That's just my thing.
I get it honestly, and I think that they're definitely because there are pitchers that have come out about that and agreed with that. Obviously, I wouldn't know anything, but like, I think that like going to 'cause obviously I go to a lot more Philly games because I'm near the area, but like going at like in the first inning and like before you know like an hour goes by and you're already in, like the fifth inning and you're like, oh, what the fuck, that's fucking crazy. And then,
Exactly. I don't go. I go to watch the game, right? Of course,
mm,
but I go for the atmosphere. I go for the food. I go for the drinks. I go
oh
for the
yeah,
people too.
100%. That's why like I give Troy shit, but I have no problem admitting it. Like as a Mets fan, I think that Philadelphia as a city, it has some of the best atmosphere when it comes to playoff in any
100%.
sport. Like there's
Yeah,
no denying like Red Oc like I was a Mets fan, like I shit on them, but like Red October and like the atmosphere, like I can't argue with that. Like there's some of the don't get me wrong, a lot of Philly fans are annoying as shit, but like they know how to fucking celebrate when needed to, and they know how to create an amazing
Fuck
I
atmosphere.
don't
yeah.
mind Philly fans, right?
Mm.
For any sport or team for that matter. But the way Philly fans slander their team is insane.
Oh,
100%. The
It's
minute they start doing bad,
insane.
it's like, all right, we're coming after the coaches, we're coming after the team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Your ass is getting dragged if you do bad.
It's bad,
It's
dude.
hilarious too, though.
you even have I feel
It
bad because
is.
you even have the players themselves. Like there was like the infamous one a couple years ago with Alec Boehm, where like you can see reading off his lips saying I fucking hate this place, and like every fucking Philly fan was just like
Yeah, everybody hated him
ripping
for
up
a
of an
couple weeks.
asshole.
Yep.
Like oh my god. Like you have like it's his personal opinion. He's obviously frustrated the way he was playing and the way the atmosphere goes. I mean, obviously going to like a Mets and Phillies game and wearing a jersey, I know that I'm in like enemy territory and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit. But honestly, like I kind of grew up with it and I kind of am a sucker for attention. But I obviously I know when to shut up and I know when not to shut up because like I like the last game I went to was a Mets and Phillies game in Philly and like there was just a fucking at least a dude this dude in his 60s, this fucking dude's in his 60s like talking the most amount of shit and then like when the Mets hit a home run I just stared at him. I didn't even have to say anything, I just stared at him and he just was quiet and he was like but like honestly like I think that baseball does have the best atmosphere when it comes to playoff. Like I can like name like numerous like instances, like you said, like the Lindor home run with Cleveland, like that
Or the
was
Joe
just
Buck announcement. We will see you tomorrow
oh
night.
yeah, the fucking was it Cardinals and Rangers
St.
game?
Louis, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking. As a Mets fan, I will never be. I never call me a pussy all you want, but I don't care. I've never actually got emotional listening to baseball but Pete Alonso hit that home run at the Brewers game through the wild card. I have never fucking like teared up and before I listened to sports. I was so fucking emotional and so hype that shit happened in the ninth inning. The ninth inning in an elimination game, loser goes home. Fucking my glorious king Pete Alonso hit that fucking home run, and I was so uh as a Mets fan, like I've never been more happier in the 2024 postseason, and ever since then it's been fucking miserable since then.
It's been downhill ever since.
It's been I can't get over the fact how last season ended with the fucking Marlins. The Marlins were playing like it was their goddamn World Series game, and they were fucking ugh. But that's besides the point. But you guys at home, let me know what you guys think. What sport has the best playoff atmosphere? I think it's baseball. Clayton think it's basketball. What do you think it is, Troy?
100%.
You think it's football?
What it's win all or go home every single week. There's no extra games. There's no nothing. It's
Mm,
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Sunday games. You know, because regular season obviously there's a lot of hype, but come playoff time,
But
you
every
get
game matters in football.
there
You know,
is
there's 16
3
games.
days that matter. It is Thursday, Sunday, and Monday.
mm.
And every game matters because if you lose, you go home. There's no second chance. There's no
Yeah,
nothing. You have to play your heart out, or you're walking away a loser, and you don't go any farther.
that's
Every
But
something.
on the
Yeah.
on the flip side, there is nothing better than a game 7.
Oh,
100%.
Nothing better.
I do agree. A game 7 is fucking electric because I feel like the anticipation of like we've been doing this is we both won 3 games. It's now do or die, but we know
Mm,
we've both been here. We both know what's going on, who's hitting, who's not hitting, and it's do or die.
yeah,
Which I feel like with the NFL with playoffs is every single week, which obviously it is. But a game 7, there's something different about a game 7. I won't lie.
100%. I
Um,
think that's what the most entertaining. And again, like I made this claim. Like when I watched it, I was like watching your team again. Clayton can can't really agree with this because my point, but like I think that once your team gets eliminated from the playoff or whatnot, obviously the next couple days will be butthurt about it, but then you actually get to enjoy watching playoff sports. It becomes way less stressful because your team's not in it. Now you get to
Hey, wait until
actually
you start
watch.
sports betting.
Oh well, that's
oh
yeah.
Then you're
yeah,
really gonna be sweating it.
every week
If
sucks.
that's the case, then yeah, I'm assuming. But like once my Mets didn't make it last season, I accepted the fact. I'm like, okay, well then I get to watch baseball and playoff. It's fucking obviously I got my fair share of shit for it, but at this point, like I just roll with the flow. Honestly, I really don't care. I'm like Troy's like fucking Clayton was saying. Like I'm sticking with my Mets, do or die. It's been treacherous times, but like I think that the Mets have one of the more better off seasons. Obviously, I mean, fucking Clayton. How are we feeling about Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers?
I don't know. He's good. He's looking good. He's looking good in the Cactus League.
He is. I
I
did.
hate that you guys got Kyle Tucker too. It is just so
Everybody
bullshit.
everybody was saying that the
Wah,
Phillies were a good pick for Tucker.
wah. Spend some money.
Exact.
We did. We're like the third or fourth most bought
I'm
team.
surprised
Everyone wants
that
to
you.
go to LA.
It's true.
Well, yeah, because they actually get the big contracts. Nowhere else wants to spend, or you get the
Oh,
big
it's because of the
contract
weather.
from. Yeah,
It's
you get the
true.
nice weather, big contract, or you got to do the big contract in somewhere that doesn't fucking win, and everybody loves winning.
That's another good
That
example of why I think a
that
lot
league,
of
it's
Japanese players go there because it's closer to Japan as well. If you think
100%.
about it.
The flights are cheaper. It's easier to get home. The family can come and watch your games. It's not as hard. Or if you're in the middle, you're in fucking Milwaukee, you're in the middle of the fucking country.
That's definitely a bucket
Yeah.
list item for
Oh,
me
yeah.
though.
Or East Coast even. It's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got to go all the way over there. It's like an 18-hour flight. It costs $5,000 to fly. It sucks.
Hmm. That's definitely a
But
bucket list item for me to watch a game in Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan as a whole, but like after like just like watching Japan games and like what they do over there, like it's so cool and entertaining what they do over there. But I don't know. I love watching clips of like the Tokyo Dome. My favorite clip that come out of there was when I guess they were doing like a Team America versus Team Japan, and fucking David Ortiz legit hit the ball like out of the goddamn dome, like it went through the roof, I think, or some shit like
yeah.
that. He fucking oh my god, such a fun clip to watch. I highly we should watch that.
Yep.
But I don't know. Let me what you guys know think in the comments down below because I'm super excited. I think that the Mets win the division. I don't know. Rather if they go all the way, I don't think so. Because if the Mets and Dodgers meet in the NLCS again, that would be entertaining to watch. I don't know. That's a good that's a good matchup. I have more confidence now in our team. I think if the Mets were to meet against the Dodgers. I don't know. I'm excited though. We gotta place bets. Oh, well, actually, we should probably end that. I don't think we have time, but like, I'm honestly super fucking. All three of us are in for the viewers at home. All three of us are in my fantasy
Oh, are
league.
you in that, Clayton?
You
Huh?
say what?
You're in the league with Marco's league.
Yeah, you're.
On Yahoo? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's true. I'm not sure who I'm facing. I'm versing. I think I'm versing somebody. I don't know who I'm playing. Who are you guys playing?
I have no idea.
Orange. Sean, Troy, you're playing. I forgot your team name is Ozuna. Ozuna's DUI. Ozuna from the Pirates. I have a good team. I'm very confident about my team in this league.
I fucked up my first couple picks. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Next
here for the first first 2 or 3 picks, and I
next
lost
podcast,
Alonzo.
you guys should go. We should go over them.
I'm 100%. We're gonna have you on relatively soon.
100%.
I didn't place like a punishment thing because I wanted to do it, but like this is also a super last minute thing. I was like, I definitely want to do my own league again with a couple of my homies. But maybe we should look at like a gentleman's bet or some shit. Or I don't know. This is just more for like brag. I'm not in any money league after fucking Ants money league last year. I'm fucking not touching money league ever again. Especially ESPN
Bro went
fantasy.
1-20 or something like that.
Something horrible. I lost $50, so I'm not touching that shit ever again.
Gonna
But
lose more sports betting, FYI.
no, no, I
Mhm.
don't gamble.
You
I
know it.
win. I don't gamble. I win.
No,
That's
it's
the
not gambling if you're winning, huh?
Exactly. Are you winning,
Uh-huh.
son? That's what I'm fucking. That's why I'm fucking doing it. But I don't
That's
know.
too funny.
We're definitely gonna have you on. Thanks for coming on, Clay. And
Yeah, thank
Of
you
course,
so
thanks
much.
for having
Thank
me,
you for
guys.
all the
this
information
is a
and
super
everything. All
last
the
minute thing. We were like, we gotta record the podcast, and it was like Clay. I was like, oh, you want to do it? And Clay was like, fuck yeah. I wanna have all the boys. I wanna have Flex and all them on. That would be fucking entertaining as shit. Man,
Get
on.
Shirley to do it. That fool knows ball. Or
Mm,
Zilla.
Mm.
that entire. They're not on right now. Oh no, they're on. Who's in there? Oh, Matt and Zerg's on right now. Well, definitely gotta do with them. Hopefully I get all the fucking Kyle mods, and then eventually we'll have your friend Kyle on. That fucking egotistical bastard. No, I'm joking. I love the Kyle. I try to get. He said maybe. He said if I ever think about it, I'll do it. But he's currently being the biggest MLB the Show streamer of all time. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna do it. Do you have any closing states, thought mints? Any thoughts, Troy, before we wrap things up here?
No, I just thank you, Clayton, for coming on. We really appreciate it. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun today.
We definitely
Yeah, I
gotta
appreciate
we
you
definitely
guys.
gotta
Thanks for
have you
having me.
back on.
Hope to see you guys soon.
Indeed, indeed.
Absolutely.
You guys already know the drill. If you guys want to see more content like this and more guests, let us know by subscribing, ringing the bell, and of course following us on all that good social medias down in the link down in the description. We hope you guys have a nice, wonderful, peaceful, safe spring. It's springtime, baby. Enjoy
Finally
that.
spring, baby.
So go enjoy that outside, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.
Happy opening days Eve. Let's get to it.
Indeed. Go Mets.